Hello everyone, Jacquie Edwards here. It's a little bit blurry on the bottom. My camera might be a bit dirty. Hi everybody, Jacquie Edwards here for Live at Lunchtime. Thank you so much for joining me today. Yeah, it's a kind of a dark and dreary Wednesday, which I keep thinking is Thursday, which is such a shame because Thursday is kind of my rest and massage day. But it's not Thursday, so I am busy working away today. I've been in the finances a little bit. I tend to get sidetracked really easily, so basically I've been working on a million different things. Yeah, but I wanted to talk about rent to rent, specifically on pricing with the landlords. So I get quite a few questions around, how much below kind of the asking price can I offer for, a rent to rent property. And I'm going to say it's not all about kind of negotiating a set discount every time. I mean, every property is going to be different because, each property is laid out differently. They're in slightly different locations. You might get slightly different tenants. The room sizes are going to be slightly different. So, and the owner's going to be asking a different rent. So there's no kind of set formula of, oh, you always just take off 10% off of the market rent and that's what you go for a rent to rent. It is more about finding out what the owner's problem is and providing a solution for that. So it's like selling anything. It's how much value can you provide to your client. So your client is that rent to rent landlord, and you need to find out how much of a problem he has. So if he is already renting out the property, he's got tenants in it, but his tenants have made a big mess of the property and he doesn't know what to do and he doesn't want to maintain the property. He's tired of getting kind of phone calls about toilets breaking and stuff like that. Then, that's his problem, and you have to find out how much of a problem is it and how much, is he willing to pay for it, basically. So if he's getting £1,000 a month right now from his tenants, but he's got all of these issues and he can't sleep at night and all of that stuff, well, it might be worth £300-400 a month for him to have that problem solved, or it might only be worth £100 a month for him to have that problem solved. So it depends how big of a problem it is and how much your solution actually solves it. Alternatively, maybe his problem is that he has some tenants in there, but he doesn't have enough, and he needs a minimum of £1,000 a month to pay his mortgage and to pay his insurance fees. Well, in that case, you're not going to be able to negotiate less than that £1,000 a month because that's what he needs to kind of survive on. But you might be able to find other things to negotiate on, such as, the length of the contract, or, maybe he just needs that much every month to make, all the payments on the property, but maybe he has a little bit set aside and he's willing to do some of the upfront maintenance, make the property a bit nicer, and then you can take it over, run it on a longer term contract. So you might pay a little bit more monthly, but your startup costs are lower and your contract length is longer, so you make money over a longer period. So it's all about really understanding what is the owner's problem. And of course, it doesn't work for everybody because not every property landlord has a problem. So, I've got loads of calls from, I do my advertising. I get loads of calls from people who are basically just price checking. So they give me a call and say, oh, yeah, I saw your advertisement. Yeah, interested in what you do. How much can you pay me? In the beginning, I wouldn't tell them how much I would pay them. I'd be like, oh, I need to come and see your property because we take care of all the maintenance and we need to see how big the bedrooms are before we can tell you how much we'll pay. Well, I realized then that I was doing a lot of viewings with people that were, they were already getting £3,000 a month and I could only pay £1,000 a month. It was never going to work out. They were never going to come down £2,000 a month. Their properties were already in beautiful condition. They didn't have a problem. So, or they didn't have a problem big enough for me to, add value to them. So maybe, yeah, they were a little bit tired of managing their property and they were looking for something a little bit easier, but overall they could do it and they made a good income from it, and it wasn't a serious problem. So in that situation, I can't really help. So now I do tell people kind of an estimate of, oh, for a 5-bedroom house I can pay, £1,000 to £1,200 a month or something like that. But and that way you do kind of weed out the people that they're already doing great, they don't have a problem, you're not in their price range. But if it's okay to look at properties where maybe you're looking on Rightmove and you see it on at £1,000 a month, but you can only pay £800 a month. It's okay to go and have a look at it and see if maybe there's a place where you can add value. So maybe it's advertised as a 4-bedroom house for £1,000 a month. 4-bedroom houses don't work that great for you. You can only pay £800 a month. You go and have a look at it, and it turns out there's an extra reception room, or there's, one of the bedrooms is absolutely massive and you can split it into two. So there's a way that you can add value and make it work for you. So I touched on this a little bit yesterday, but don't just rule things out based on something like price, and don't try to just use a rule of thumb of, I only offer a 15 or 20% discount. It's not quite that easy, and almost every deal is kind of tailored directly to that property owner and what his problem is, what his property situation is, and how you can help him. And the way you win these rent-to-rent deals is finding a way to explain to the owner what benefit you're providing to them. So if they can't see the benefit of your services, they're not going to go with you no matter how high of a rent or low of a rent that you offer. But if you can really show them what value you're adding to their life, to their property, then you've got a way to negotiate with them. So without kind of prying into their life and getting really deep into the detail of their mortgages and all of their payments, it's just having a conversation with them, getting to know them, build the relationship, understanding what their problem is, what their kind of stress is, what do they need fixed in order to be happy, and then you can come to an agreement with them. So hopefully that helps. Sorry, there's no easy formula for it, but if it was easy, everybody would do it. So it's up to you to find the problem, come to the agreement with the landlord, and solve their problems. So thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you again tomorrow.